The big fat Indian wedding clearly is back after 2 years, and the demand for jewelry is estimated to rise 10 to 12% higher than pre-COVID levels. Jewelry accounts for 15 to 20% of the wedding budgets. India is the second largest producer of gold in the world and accounts for nearly 27% of global gold consumption, according to World Gold Council. 50% demand for gold in India comes in from weddings. To understand how the key wedding trends and the demand for gold, I am now joined by Suvankar Sen, Managing Director and CEO at Senco Gold. Mr. Sen, hi, thank you so much for joining us. We are in the midst of the wedding season, and this time around, it is touted that we are looking at some record weddings from now until the month of Feb. So what is the wedding demand looking like? What are the trends? And now, since we've seen a month go by already, how are you as a market player really calculating or gauging this market?
So what we are seeing right now is that the consumers are, already out in the market, kind of jewelry that they would like to buy for their weddings. However, in order to finalize and pay the amount and fix the price, I think because of the sudden increase in the gold price that we have seen over the last 10 to 15 days, they are in a wait and watch situation. So in terms of the designs, they are in a selection mode, but in terms of the final purchase, I think they are waiting that if there is any kind of correction that they would see in the gold prices, and accordingly buy the final piece of jewelry. So this is how we are looking at the consumer behavior at the ground level.
So, Mr. Sen, what geographies do you see doing well? I mean, we do understand that it is pan-India, but is there an area or state that seems to be doing better than the other? Because South India is known to buy the maximum jewelry. Then comes North India, and then it's West. I mean, are we still, ranking it like that?
I don't think that it is a very one area or one state that is doing well. We are well aware that, if you divide the market of India, around 35 to 40% is South India, 25% odd is the north and the western part, and about 15 to 20% is what is left with the eastern part of the country. So this is how it's divided. But when you see the trend that we see, it is happening all across the country. The winter weddings is I think more of a fashion that we see in the northern part of the country. So your North Indian states, the East Indian states, or the West Indian states are having a higher and a bigger traction.
Mr. Sen, then what is the ticket size that you see of jewelry buying as of now? What's an average that a household is spending on the wedding right now? And how are you calculating these numbers as compared to the last year and pre-COVID levels?
So based on the capacity that the consumer have, we are seeing various kinds of consumers. There is a consumer who has a budget of say 5 lakhs to 10 lakhs of rupees for the wedding of the daughter. So that is one kind of consumer. The one we are seeing in the smaller towns and the rural, semi-rural areas, there the consumer is there with a 3 lakh to 5 lakh kind of a ticket size for the wedding of the daughter. And then in the bigger cities, there are high ticket size consumers who are buying all kinds of jewelry at 20 lakhs or so kind of a ticket size. So the budgets have been varied as per the area of the particular country that we are in and the state that we are in. And what we are seeing is that there are two particular kind of consumers very clearly in the market. There is one kind where budget is not a constraint and the bride is trying to look for a statement piece, a very royal look, and adorning herself with a big piece of necklace and mantika and earrings and big bangles. So that is one kind of a bride. And there is another kind of a bride we are looking at, which is a very practical approach bride, where they would like to buy the jewelry, but they are kind of adorning themselves in layers. So there is a small choker and then a necklace and then a long set, and dividing the budget into multiple pieces of jewelry so that in the future they can wear it at various occasions. So we are very clear and trying to cater to both the needs and accordingly putting the jewelry for the wedding season.
All right, another sector which is looking at a very strong demand coming in, so 10 to 12% higher as compared to previous year. But are you picking up any trends, as compared to last year? Because last year was a very good spend for the industry as well. So whether it was diamonds, polki, silver, we saw all of that doing quite well. What are the comparisons that you're making? Are you still comparing to pre-COVID levels as well? And how do we stack up as compared to last year and pre-COVID for jewelry as a sector?
So there are very interesting two things happening. One is that the number of weddings is going to go up. So that way we are seeing more customers coming to buy the wedding jewelry. But unlike last year and the year before that, when the budgets that the individual had on the weddings, the spending on the peripheral, in terms of the big fat Indian wedding wasn't happening, and people were buying more of jewelry. But this year, the number of weddings have gone up, but we could clearly see that the budgets for the jewelry in the weddings have come down comparatively because the other expenses are there. The overall, there is a sentiment of making sure that you don't overspend, and that is where the ticket sizes have come down, but the number of weddings have gone up. So if we really compare, we are not looking at a very high growth, we are looking at a very realistic growth of 10-12% over last year. And if we really compare to the pre-COVID levels for the industry, that has already been achieved in the last year itself. So it is only a growth we are seeing on top of the last year. This is how we are looking at it.
All right. So the ticket size has come down. That means the spend is lower, but there are more weddings. So in that sense, there is higher spend there. We also assume that when it is wedding, it's not all jewelry that is being bought. People get their old ones out. They add some more to that. Some of it is totally exchange jewelry also. So it's not all new jewelry buying. So how do you sum that up? What is the total of all of that?
So we are seeing that the old gold exchange that the consumers are coming is approximately 25 to 30%, and consumers are coming. There are offers that are being given to the consumer in terms of 0% deduction on the old gold that they are bringing in, so that they can buy new designs, and they are bringing the old heirloom family jewelry and exchanging for the new ones. So that range is about 25 to 30% that we see in the consumer bringing in the old jewelry.
Okay. So what is the overall spend that you are expecting this time? What are the wedding choices people are making this year as well?
So the wedding choices that they are making this year is that, it is the era of Instagram, the era of the digital photography. So people are very much focused on the areas in which it is visible on camera. So you talk of the variety designs of necklaces, the big statement chokers, elaborate earrings, adorning with a mantika or a tiara. So therefore, they want to dress up as a queen and then dress up on the upper part of the body. If we look at the rings and the bangles, compare it to the necklace, they are a little less in demand, but it's the variety of necklaces and earrings that are more in trend. And we could see it could be gold jewelry, it could be polkis with polki diamonds or diamond jewelry, the various occasions. So consumer is wanting variety, and for the various occasions of the wedding, they're wanting various kinds of jewelry. So that is another trend that we are looking at from the consumer perspective.
All right, so the gold prices are higher as compared to last year. Diamond price is almost 30% higher as compared to last year. So that is the reason the ticket size is smaller. People are buying lesser jewelry, but the weddings are higher, so that number is higher. And as he said, as a realistic level, 10 to 14% of a jump up in jewelry buying as compared to last year is still what the markets are anticipating. But remember, 25 to 30% of that jewelry buying is still an exchange jewelry. People are going with their old gold and exchanging it for new. So that's a lot of market happening there. Mr. Sen, thank you so much for joining us. Well, that's what's happening in the big fat Indian wedding. But with that, it's a wrap on this edition of Commodity Champions. Thank you for watching.